Yo, how's it going, guys? It's your boy Richie Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are back, and we're just gonna do a quick little rundown of everything, or at least most of the things that we saw in the test realm slash update, which I gotta say is probably one of the best updates we've had in a very long time. A lot of people call me biased or hypocritical when it comes to these updates. I literally read the patch notes a dozen times and I still can't find anything that I don't really like or something that I'm not going to do. I feel like a lot of people, whenever an update comes in, the immediate response is a judgy response just because of course, the trust issues with KI. But this is honestly probably one of the biggest updates we've had in a while. I feel like if you don't like this update at the end of the day, then it definitely is time to move on because there is a ton of content to unpack in here. But to each is their own. Like I said, if you don't like the game, just play a different game. The game is not going back to where it was back in the day. I think everybody is blinded by nostalgia. It might be time to detach, okay? Anyway, Test Realm is actually offline. Last night, or yeah, pretty much yesterday, it was bugged, which of course I don't really care when Test Realm is bugged. The only thing I care about is when it's bugged on launch. So now that they know that it's super buggy, they're going to work on it and then they are going to re-release it in the evening, which will be nice because I know everybody's been having fun with it. Even I've been having fun with it, and I've been trapped on the Arc Mastery tutorial for the longest time. Speaking of bugs and glitches, though, we gotta talk about the elephant in the room, and that is talking about Pirate 101. This happened like last week, or basically like, yeah, yesterday actually. Pirate 101 was going through this issue where some of the players were reporting that they've randomly lost like all items, ships, and companions, you know, after repeatedly changing zones. Relogging does not fix the issue. They issued a statement in the little Discord talking about that it's a one-off issue at 11 p.m. last night. You know, to those affected, we have a script to restore your items, and we'll be doing so as soon as we can, right? So hopefully that gets resolved as quick as possible. But yeah, it is safe to log into Pirate 101 now if you are afraid. You should be fine, which is crazy. I think that was like the last day, like one of the last days of free membership. So maybe it's actually a good thing that maybe a lot of people just wanted to play some Pirate 101 at night. I was playing Fortnite at night, so I guess to each their own. But yeah, well, hopefully this doesn't happen again. Apparently it did happen before, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. And hopefully not for Wizard 101. I would imagine that if something like this happened for like Wizard 101, I think a lot of people would just like lose their mind and be like, this is an outrage. I mean, personally for me, I would be upset too if I lost like all my gear, or if I lost like the stuff that I paid like $40 on. Yeah, I'd be pretty upset too. Anyway, let's do a quick rundown of the update. Now, like I said, and like they always say, Test Realm is supposed to be buggy, and of course, it's a very fat update. This is probably one of the fattest updates they've had in a very long time, and of course, it's going to be buggy and glitchy, and of course, it had to get taken down because generally, people just couldn't really progress. At least with the Arc Mastery tutorial, that's like the only thing I've been in, but I'm sure there's plenty of other bugs. Like, literally, I was just trying to do that. But remember, just a quick rundown, we have the Krokotopia Revamp, which is a graphical enhancement to, you know, Krokotopia. We also have magic weaving, which in a sense is basically dual schooling. You don't have to do it. It is completely optional. But I think it will definitely be fun, especially to do some of those quest lines where you're actually helping a companion deal the final blow to an enemy. So I think it will definitely be fun to try out all those quests and, of course, try out new spells. But if you're personally not a fan of dual schooling, it is all optional. And I think I gotta make that clear that this game is optional, alright? You don't have to do the spell fusions. You don't have to dual school. You don't have to raid. You don't have to PvP. You don't even have to do PvE. Remember that this game is completely optional. Playing this game is optional, okay? So stop with the moaning. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet, and I'm already getting my feathers roughed up. which I think people actually like to see. Anyway, spell fusion, which you're basically fusing two spells. We also have the Bazaar Revamp as well. So the Bazaar is getting a complete makeover. You can actually sell a lot of gear that wasn't actually auctionable to begin with, which is really nice. We also got the Backpack Buddy, which helps you kind of auto sell in a sense, kind of, I guess, organize your backpack a little bit more. You can, you know, sell the stuff that you want. So yeah, that comes in handy. We also got the tutorials as well, and the tutorials include the Arc Mastery thing, especially for new players, and also spell fusion. So hopefully those tutorials help people out. They are very in-depth tutorials too, so that's really good. We also got Beastman updates, which new beast forms. The Mark and Recall changes is something of a sleeper update, and this is really cool. But let's say that if you have like less than 50 mana, you only cast like a mark for 1 mana, right? Let's say you had more than 100 most of the time. It will only cost like 10 mana. So basically, when you lay down a mark, it will basically take less of your mana, which is probably a thing we needed back in the day 16 years ago. So for example, I got like 536 mana, right? So I'm gonna place a marker right here, and it takes 107 mana. Now that's insane. Like, why does it need to take that much mana? So in the new update, it's not going to take that much. It's only going to take 10, or it's only going to take 5, or it's only going to take 1, depending on how much mana you have left. So this will definitely help you maybe save up on those potions, or at least save up on your mana, which is absolutely amazing. You'll also be able to still go to the marker. Like, when you recall to it, it actually won't just go away. So again, this is a really awesome change. We also have Crown Shop changes as well, to where you can actually see every single thing in the Horde packs, which is really nice. You can also see it in the second chance chest as well, and see what you can get from there. We also have certain ultra rare gear sets in Dragonspire, Chrysalis, and Lemuria, and Novus that are now auctionable, which include some of the ones in Novus, right? So again, there's a lot to unpack here. It's not just about the spells. I feel like the main focus for a lot of people is the spells, but again, there is a lot to unpack here besides the spells. And like I said, if you don't want to do spell fusion, if you don't want to do magic weaving, that is all completely optional. And when we talked in detail about all the other stuff from Atmoplex and the Wizard101 spoilers chat, you'll see that, right? And again, like I said, it's all optional, so calm down, okay? I feel like everybody's miserable. Okay, over here, a reminder about the Spooktacular Halloween event, which is still going on. It's going to last all the way through the 31st. Just wanted to give you guys that general reminder in case you guys were wondering if Halloween is still around, which, yes, it is. Halloween is still around, so make sure to check everything out, because there's a ton of stuff in the Crown Shop, so have fun with all of that. Okay, over here. Now, we're going to be talking about everything that has been in Test Realm. So if you don't want to look at it, leave the video. If you do want to look at some awesome stuff, then stay tuned. We got the loading screen for Selenopolis, which looks fantastic. I love the artists at KI. They go so hard with their designs. It is so good. Look at this. It looks high quality too. Can I just say that? I mean, this is gorgeous, man. This is absolutely stunning, man. That's just the loading screen in general. Like I said, it's like, I've been reading the notes. I'm trying to look for something to hate. I know everybody's been like, Richard, speak the truth. I'm like, I am speaking the truth. This is generally a pretty cool update. Well, like, what else? Alright, we're not raiding, thank goodness. It doesn't take 11 people to do this. Right? Like, this genuinely looks amazing. And of course, we got some pictures of Selenopolis. We got some of the, I guess, school bazaars as well. Not the school bazaar, but school fires over here. This is just amazing. Man, I really do. I showed Nicole the pictures. Of course, she hadn't played the game in, like, literally years, but, like, she was even interested in playing. I was like, babe, you gotta play this. Like, this is insane. Like, look at all this stuff. It looks massive, and it looks absolutely amazing. For a smaller content that's not a world, this is pretty solid. I do have to say so myself. This is pretty solid. And to each their own, I guess. We also got the Selenopolis market as well, again, which looks beautiful. Kind of reminds me of like the old school Krokotopia days, or kind of reminds me of like old school Mirage and stuff like that in the market area. Got a little, I guess, Coliseum or play area right there. Again, the design is absolutely gorgeous, man. I like how it's kind of like night themed. You know, has anybody noticed that? It's like very night themey. I like that. We got the Tomb of the Forgotten, which again, Krokotopia vibes, which is pretty cool. I like how it's dark, very dark and gloomy. I really do like this. This is a really cool update, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This is really nice. If you don't like this update, again, it's optional to play it. However, it is mainline quest, so you kind of do have to do it if you want to proceed with the mainline story mode. This is gorgeous as well. Everything about this. Look how big the moon is. Look how big that is, dude. Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous. I feel bad for Pyro 101 players, man. They need Pyro 101 needs some love. Now, this is something that was in the files, but apparently we have elixirs. These are pretty interesting elixirs. We have a 6-month prepaid time elixir that's set for 48,000 crowns, and then we also have a 12-month prepaid time elixir for 96,000 crowns. Now, remember that, you know, everything in Test Realm is usually subject to change, so don't really take these prices as like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be the crown price. Like, no, most likely these are just placeholders, and they'll adjust them whenever it actually launches in the live round. But this is also a pretty cool alternative if you just genuinely don't want to buy a gift card or whatever. You can now just buy it in a crown shop, and hopefully you can gift them to friends. I think that would make for some really cool giveaways, so definitely make sure to check that out. That's really cool, actually. That's really nice. And then over here we got the mount. This is the sleigh horse, most likely going to be the I wouldn't say charity mount, but will just be a new mount for the upcoming Wizard 101 Christmas, which looks gorgeous. I love it. Cute little horse. So make sure to check that out whenever it releases. Now we finally have the gear visuals for Selenopolis, and it looks very, very good. We have the avatar set, which is really cool. Even someone mentioned like a moon night kind of vibe going with it, and it really does look really good, dude. I love it, man. It actually does remind me of Moon Knight. It definitely has some symbolism to it, so yeah, that's really good. Definitely can't wait to see some stitches about it, because that's just absolutely gorgeous, man. And then we have the Kansu set. Apologies if I mispronounced that, but this set is absolutely insane. You have like this little moon icon or like moon particle effect that you get for your hat and for the wand, and then you get this like glowy cape. I like how they're kind of going the route with like the capes. I think capes in this game are like really cool. For example, Beast Moon, this is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the stuff on his head, and you see the stuff on his wand. It just makes you glow. I kind of like that glow factor. That's a really good picture. Huge shout out, by the way, to Atmoplex and Wizard101 spoilers. These data miners and, you know, these people work so hard to like give us the content, especially when Test Realm shuts down so early, man. This is just amazing. We also have some pictures of the Blended Grove, and this is going to be basically a place where you would discover magic weaving and stuff like that. And let me just say that it looks absolutely crazy. They did say that this is basically going to be like a main hub area. So I think level 50s and up can actually like go in here, and that's when you get introduced into magic weaving. I mean, this is just wow. Again, like I said, if you're not gonna like this update, then most likely you're probably just done with Wizard101 in general. It really might be time to move on, dude. Like, this is insane. Absolutely fantastic. I've always loved the school trees. I think the school trees are awesome. Now, this is something that's big. Check this out. Selenopolis Challenge Mode. Heretic Cosmetic Set reward. That is insane. What in the world? Ladies and gentlemen, that's probably the biggest sword I think I've ever seen in the Wizard101. We're starting to get some Elden Ring vibes here, or like something from Berserk. I mean, wow. That is absolutely amazing. Now, I know what you're thinking, Richard, it's challenge mode. Now, luckily, I haven't seen anything really much, especially like no mazes or broken dreams or collecting any dream water. So I think what it's going to be is just like a final boss fight that's in a challenge mode set. So it actually might be super easy to actually get this. Hopefully nothing too weird or complex, but personally for me, I am just super duper excited to get this because, dude, that sword, and I kind of like how they're getting more into challenge mode, or at least in a sense of just bosses instead of, you know, the Nightmare Dungeon. I mean, the Nightmare Dungeon, I feel like it really just wasn't hitting the spot there, you know, just wasn't there at all. I mean, I can't even imagine doing that with my own friends, so I don't know, but you know, hopefully we don't get anything as confusing as that ever again. It was a nice one-time thing, and if people want to pace themselves or do it in challenge mode, they can. And like I said, this is only the challenge mode stuff. You don't have to do this. Like I said, challenge mode is completely optional. Don't think that you're forced to do it. But, dude, this gear looks absolutely insane. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it. Dude, that's awesome! Now remember, when it comes to challenge mode, it's gonna be the whole, you know, advanced combat rule set. You can only use, like, allowed spells. You can't use anything that's PvP banned. And then your stats also get scaled, blah, 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 you know. And it also depends on what type of parameters they set. Usually with some of the challenge modes, they have certain specific parameters set in place. So, I don't know, but overall, though, that gear does look insane. Some people say it looks ridiculous because it looks like they just combined a bunch of stuff. But honestly, that sword, mwah, chef kiss, that sword is insane. We also got some new equipment icons as well, so take that with what you will. Some pretty cool icons too. But this is pretty interesting, and if you zoom in, I know some of y'all are already typing, bro, just chill out. Like I said, if you don't like this update, just don't play. Remember, like I said in the beginning, this stuff is optional, dude. Just calm down, man. So miserable. Here, check this out. We got some new hairstyles, which it looks like it's going to be part of a pack, but let me just say, as a person of color, this is really interesting, and these hairstyles look really good. And I don't know what pack or bundle. I would imagine it's probably going to be in a pack, or if they're just adding new hairstyles in general, I would imagine it's coming in a pack so they can make some, of course, some coin. But let me just say, hey, KI, you can gladly take my wallet, dude. Yo, I see you with the dreads. I see you with the afro. Like, yo, hey, bro. Like, look, yo, you need some money, bro? Like, I got y'all. I can do a pack opening video, bro. I just got my direct deposit off of YouTube, bro. Like, I'm just saying. Hey, whoever is designing this stuff, just know that you're invited to the cookout. Okay, brother? Okay, you invited to the cookout, bro. Okay? All right, you invited, bro. Hey, don't even worry about it, bro. Don't even worry about it. Hey, I'll give you a plate. I'll bring the plate to you, bro. What's up? That's grandma, that's auntie, that's cousin, that's my mama, that's my baby. Yo. These hairstyles are lit. And I really like that they're providing more, like, hairstyles and more, like, stitch sets as well. Yeah, it's really cool to see, you know. This really is an insane update. Like, this is really just great. They really are doing a great job. Like I said, all this stuff is optional. You don't have to play all this stuff. You don't have to participate. Yeah. And anyway, we go back into current time at least 12 hours ago. And this comes from Spark. Honestly, I might have to dim Spark. Be like, yo, Spark, tell the developers that they cooked with this update. And that is all. I don't even have to explain myself. Just be like, tell the devs that they did a good job. That's it, and just vanish. But yeah, he also says that, you know, exploring Selenopolis is going to have to wait another day due to the server issues. We don't want to leave it in this state for y'all. So we're bringing test run down for the evening to work out a solution tomorrow. So hopefully today or hopefully tomorrow or whenever they can, you know, once they, you know, figure out what's going on with that, they can bring back the test realm, because overall, this update, dude. This update. Dude. I know I'm glazing. Richard, you're glazing. I feel like a lot of people forget that I have a playlist that's filled of, like, Wizard101 problems. So I feel like a lot of people think I'm just a glazer. Like, no. I have criticized this game multiple times. I feel like everybody skips those problem set videos. And they just think, like, oh, Richard's either a hater or he's just a glazer. No. I've already said my piece. No. Now this is also fantastic. This is definitely giving me some dreamy vibes in a sense. I mean, look at this. This is all over the place, dude. And that's absolutely massive. Check this out, dude. It's like we're in a dream state, dude. I don't know what this area will be like, but it looks really cool. It's called the Field of Reeds. So do with that with what you will. That looks awesome. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we probably have one of the biggest, and again, all this stuff is optional. Take everything you see with a grain of salt, but this is probably one of the biggest updates this is probably the biggest thing out of the entire update, and of course it's not included in the test realm notes. This is just what was found out in the files of the update, and if this is true, and if this holds true, then again, this will be one of the greatest updates in the game, hands down. And we don't know if this is going to release with the update. It might release at a later time, but what I'm about to show you could change the game forever. No, not really, but whatever. You get the point, basically. Over here, we have some breaking news. And this comes in from Amaplex. It appears that all mainline Wizard City areas have been made free in this update, as they've been labeled free to play in the files. Boom! And again, like I said, playing this game is completely optional. Take that with what you will. Okay? That, hey, don't everybody hates me, but hey, I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger, guys. I'm just doing my job. I'm just the messenger. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, note that this does not include places like Crab Alley, Colossus Boulevard, or other miscellaneous areas that may include. It's just the mainline Wizard City area, so just hype down for a little bit, you know. For example, Firecat Alley, that's a free-to-play area, at least in this update it would be. You know, Cyclops Lane, you know, also a free-to-play area, you know. So, alright, just calm down. I know the news is big, but just take it with a grain of salt, okay? It only takes one button flip and they can revert that, okay? Don't get too excited. Alright, everybody calm down. I'm so excited! Anyway, over here we have a new mount. This is the Bling Cobra, which was found in the files. Not sure if this will be part of a pack or a bundle, but it looks absolutely insane. I've always wanted to ride on a snake. Wow, that design is really good. Oh my goodness. That's a really good design. Wow. Beautiful. It's gorgeous, dude. It's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. This really is an insane update. This comes in from Blaze Stormclad. Don't know why I'm not following him, but I am going to do myself a favor and follow him. By the way, guys, I've been primarily using a Blue Sky a lot, which has been absolutely fun. I absolutely love Blue Sky, so if you wanted to check me out, let me know and I can drop my Blue Sky link below. It's been a really fun app. It's like old school Twitter. I love it. The Prism Blade model, originally developed when Magnetic made the original Old One's endgame spell, is back. Balance Weaving Storm can use it in their new Dust Blade spell, which is absolutely insane. And you can see that it gives you that little convert prism thing. So this is definitely going to be fun for balance wizards in a sense, if you're looking into magic weaving. Now over here we have the 42 utility spells for you know, magic weaving, is whatever you want to call it, spell weaving. At this point, it's up to you. And remember, like I said, this stuff is optional. Don't think that you have to get all. You actually can and get all of these if you wanted to, because these are basically like class specific. So on this side down here, if you go down, you have your base weaving. So let's say I am a life wizard that wants to weave into Storm. I'm going to connect the dots over here and go to the Storm icon over here. And then I'm going to go all the way over here to Energy Blade. Actually, change that. My bad. The top part right here is your main school. And then over here is basically the magic you would weave into. So let's say I wanted to be a life wizard, right? And I wanted to weave in the Storm, which I will be doing on a test realm, just because honestly, I play with a lot of Storm wizards and y'all are always crying about blades and healing. So I really do want that energy blade, because that's a plus 45, which can be enchanted if you had a sharpened blade, and then that would be a plus 55 blade, which is pretty awesome. Anyway, it's going to cost 2 pips, 2 Storm pips to be exact. And yeah, it's going to give you a life blade and also a Storm blade. And that goes in for the rest of these. Some of these have traps and auras and stuff like that. You know, I'm not going to go too deep and too heavy into it, because there's too many letters and numbers and words, and it's very scary to me. But yeah, if you want to check it out yourself, you know, feel free. I know a lot of people are talking about fire and storm and balance and all that stuff, so take that with what you will. Now, this is just the utility stuff. We actually didn't even go into the main stuff, which is talking about the other spells that are being offered in the game, especially those auras. And again, this comes in from the awesome Blaze of Stormcloud. He mentions that Masterpiece gear is now auctionable. This is what is used to craft Aeon. So now you can actually sell it in the bazaar and hopefully help a person out. And yeah, you don't really have to worry about farming too heavily. I know I have a ton of Masterpiece, just Masterpiece, etc. Just Masterpiece hat and robe and boots. So definitely can't wait to help some people out and sell that in the bazaar, because personally, I don't need it. I got like a whole gear vault of it, and I just do not need it. Anyway, we got some more stuff, and this is talking about the Krokotopia Revamp, and these are some of the highlights. I'll be going over the highlights when I get in there myself, but as you can see here, Krokotopia just looks smooth as butter, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at this, guys. It's like a completely brand new world. I know a lot of people were asking for Krokotopia to get revamped for a very long time, so it definitely might be fun to kind of quest through here again. I mean, it just looks very polished, very smooth. I mean, they really put a lot of detail into this. Like I said, this is a really big update, so huge shout out to the developers and designers, because they all just did a fantastic job of all of this. Now, like I said, as I keep saying, I'm gonna keep saying it in the video, this stuff is optional, and at this point, if you're still not liking the update, again, it might be time to just find a different video game to play. I'm serious, like, honestly. Now let's talk about the world spells. Now, these are the new world spells that everybody can learn. Now, each spell has 4 variations. They have a base variation, which is pretty cool, and then they have the path B variation. So, you know, you farm for spellment, and then you can either go for the top A path, which is basically probably just like raw damage or something like that, or you can go for the bottom path, which will basically kind of have like a utility with it. And then you have 2 fusions, right? So the base, here's the base for all of these spells, and we'll go in order. We have the Chameleon Clash, which a lot of balanced wizards didn't really seem to like the animation for this, and it basically does 665 base damage of, I guess, a random school in a sense, right? We don't know the specific school, it's just a question mark, so it looks like it will be random. Basically kind of like a single hit, I guess, Nested Fury or Spectral Blast in a sense. Kind of gives me like a Gaze of Fate, you know, Gaze of Fate vibe. We have Amut. Sorry if I mispronounce anything, I really do apologize. This will take 7 pips. All these will take 7 pips. And it does a base of 780 fire damage, and the designs for these cards look amazing. We have the Ice Spell, which is a base of 650 damage, and then we have Heket, sorry if I mispronounced that, which is 975 base storm damage. That's a lot of damage, oh my goodness. And then we have Toweret. Again, apology for mispronouncing everything. And this is, I think this is going to be my favorite spell in the game. It's a 7 pip heal, and the conditional for it, if you went to the path B, is really fun. Overall, I'm just super happy that we're finally getting a heal. I understand that life wizards need more damage and stuff like that, but as a passionate healer, such as myself, I'm just so happy to finally, like, you know, get a chance to heal. You know, more ways to heal your teammates, you know. Hey, I know people like, oh, life wizards need an AoE. Okay, well, get your own AoE, okay? How many damage spells do we need, man? I'm gonna have a full spell book. And then we have a Thoth over here, which is the Myth spell. It does a base of 265 myth damage, and then 435 like myth damage as well. So kind of like a Minotaur in a sense. And then we have Anubis, which is the death spell, which is really cool visually, and it does a base of 665 death damage. Also, going back to the life spell, the base of it is 1,480. So this is kind of like almost like a buffed up satyr if you really needed to like heal those storm wizards, because y'all storm wizards just be all over the place. Now, I'm not going to go over all of this. Should we go over all of it? I feel like the video is so long at this point. I don't know. Some of this stuff I can't even read. I think this is like chromatic or something like that. It gives you like +5 pips if the target had like a negative aura. Yeah, we're not going to read all of this, but I do want to talk about the life one. Now, the life one in the bottom path is allowed to be in advanced combat, which is pretty nice. And again, it takes 7 pips. And you can only have at least up to 4 of these in your deck. These are one of these conditional ones where you can't really reshuffle it back. You'll see that ×1 card in your deck. But basically, for a base of 1,320, you get 2 heal overtimes each, right? And it's going to last for 4 rounds. So think of a regenerate, right? Now here's the kicker. Let's say that the person that you're healing has like a damage overtime, and a really powerful one too. This is going to come in handy because you can remove up to 2 of those and replace it with a heal overtime. Now I'm not sure if the heal overtime is just going to be like 1 even if it is clearing 2, or if it's going to just add 2 overall. But in general, this is a pretty cracked out bottom path, and I will definitely be farming Spellments for that, because that is going to be really great. It's basically like a buffed up regenerate, except it kind of removes the damage overtimes, which is going to be useful, especially in certain situations, you know? I just feel like that's really a nice thing to have. Of course, you don't, again, like I said this entire video, it is optional. Don't think you have to farm Spellments. If you don't want to farm Spellments, just simply don't do it. I'm trying to give y'all options here. Don't do it. But if you do want it, you have to farm Spellments, okay? Stop crying. And now you have Fusion A and then Fusion B, which honestly, I'm probably not going to invest too much in the Fusion A and Fusion B. Just because, I don't know, the Fusion spells don't, they kind of seem niche to me. I think Mono Fusion will be fun. But I don't know, I just feel like it's one of those things where I'll do it once and then I'm probably not going to do it again. I also don't know like what exact spells I would even need to fuse in order to make these spells. I'll have to see that when Test Realm opens up again. But, you know, overall, it still is cool to see. And again, the life spell just does amazing healing, right? But here's the thing, though. If you're up against a death, like, if you're up against a death wizard and they use Anubis at the bottom path, this thing will clear 3 hots. So basically, that's a counter to this life spell. It will clear up to 3 of those, right? And then it's going to place a negative aura on the opponent that will basically, like, increase the damage that they take for, like, 2 rounds. And hopefully I'm reading that correctly, but that purple aura is basically like, kind of like a bad aura to the opponent, I'm assuming. So, yeah, it should be interesting to see what type of spell combos and spell counters there are. And honestly, there's a lot of versatility with all these spells, and like I said, it's all up in your own playstyle preference. And that's why I really like this. Like, I really like how they did these world spells. I like how they kind of give you a lot of options. You have a base option, and then you have a path B, so you can farm for spellments, and then you have a fusion A, and then you have a fusion B. So, yeah, there's a lot of versatility with this. I'm not even going to try and attempt to read all of these, but take all that with what you will. I'm kind of tired of reading hieroglyphics, which is ironic because we are in a Krokotopia update. But all in all, though, it does look pretty cool. Now, Amaplex has also posted the Selenopolis soundtrack, which I'm not going to listen to just because I want to be kind of shocked at what it sounds like at first. And of course, a reminder that Wizard101 is coming to console. Still hasn't really been a release date about that. You're just gonna have to wait and see whenever they post about that. Now, over here, let's give some love to Wizard101 spoilers over here. They mentioned that there has been a bunch of icons in the initial patch of Test Realm. Some of these icons are old, though the majority are new. This will be fixed in the future. So yeah, some pretty cool icons that you can check out. Might be some new stuff as well. So yeah, pretty cool stuff over here. And pretty much the same thing, just like Atmoplex, just doing the daily data mining content and whatsoever. Definitely make sure you check both of them out. I actually have both of them followed because they do such a good job for the community. We also have the Selenopolis area maps, which again, Selenopolis just looks absolutely stunning. It looks amazing. I can't wait to play it. I want to play it now. Release Test Realm now, man. It kind of gives me like a Wizard City catacomb area. I would imagine that this is underground. There's going to be like an underground section and a top path. So this is definitely going to be pretty interesting to check out, honestly. Yeah. And then we have some maps that are still a work in progress, which again, it looks like there's going to be like an underground sector. And then that will probably be like where the main boss will be. Again, like I said, all of it's optional. If you don't want to play the game, don't play the game, okay? We also got some spells that was posted in my Discord. I'm not sure who exactly made this, but this basically gives you a full rundown of all the spell fusions that you can basically get in the game, right? And again, this is pretty insane. It's going to depend on your primary school and what you're going to be weaved into. So if you wanted to read all of that at your own time, make sure to have fun with that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, completes the rundown. Wow, can't believe it was that long. It didn't even feel that long. But let me know what you guys think about this update. Personally, for me, I think the update is fine. I mean, I really don't know what else you guys want me to say about, I mean, speaking the truth. Like, literally, I don't know what you guys want me to say. Like, oh, the Krokotopia Revamp sucks. Is that what you guys want me to say? Like, oh, the magic weaving also sucks. The only main gripe I have about magic weaving is that it's kind of like dual school dependent on your primary school. We already talked about how, you know, Death Wizards can't actually cast Grimzilla, only Storm Wizards can, and it kind of like, I guess kind of eliminates the facts of using it in general, because Stormzilla technically, you know, is better, right? But if you really are heavy into dual schooling, then it's definitely going to be right up your alley. I think it will be fun for a little bit. I'm probably not going to dabble in it too much, but again, I don't know, I just think it's fine to me. I don't think it's something that, oh, this update's a 0 out of 10. I don't think it's something like that, you know? There's a lot to honestly unpack in this update in general. It's really going to depend on your playstyle and just how you want to play this game in general. But I don't think it's really fair to really, like, I don't know, go down the throats of the developers every time an update launches. You know, even though my expectations were still low, I'm still happy that they were low because now I feel much appreciative of this update in general, because I just kind of went in with a blind eye and be like, all right, let's see what mess they have this time, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know, most of the stuff is like quality of life stuff. You know, I didn't even go into like the dungeon or anything at all. I was stuck at the Arc Mastery tutorial forever, and then they shut down Test Realm because if you don't do the Arc Mastery tutorial, you can't do the whole magic weaving. I believe it's actually a prerequisite you have to do in order to unlock that. But overall though, guys, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty solid update. I honestly don't know what you guys want from me. I mean, if this was something comparing to raids where it required 11 people to do, then yeah, maybe I wouldn't like it at all. But you know, this is just PvE content that you can play with up to 4 players. So I mean, again, it's up to you. I mean, we didn't even go into about the new auras and stuff like that. But, and again, it's all optional. I mean, this part of the mainline quest, of course, Selenopolis is, but some of this stuff is all optional. If you don't want to do magic weaving, you don't have to do that. If you don't want to do spell fusion, you also don't have to do that. If you don't want to look at the Bazaar Revamp for some reason, you also don't have to do that. You don't have to do most of the stuff. If you don't like Beast Moon, I know a lot of people just don't like Beast Moon, but if you don't like Beast Moon, you can literally ignore the Beast Moon section of this update, right? You don't even have to worry about that. I mean, that's usually what I do. But it is cool to see that they're still updating Beast Moon, of course, with all the forms and all that fun stuff. But honestly, in my opinion, it's a pretty solid update. Like I said, I don't know what you guys want from me, but make your own decisions and make your own opinions, alright? I'm just the news guy. Until then, I will see you guys later. Let me know how hyped you guys are about this update, and of course, I'm going to keep you guys notified whenever this actually does come on the live servers. Right now, they're just kind of in the testing phase, and of course, it's probably going to be buggy on launch. I mean, this is a really massive update, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see a bunch of bugs on launch, but even with the bugs on launch, I still feel like that this is a really solid update regardless. So huge shout out to any of the devs if they are watching. I doubt they're watching, but if there are any devs out there watching, congrats. Make sure to give them my love. Absolutely love this update. Until then, I will see you guys later, and yeah, peace out.